Alright, so this is Chris here. We're live. We're at the retirees rally, the anti-DC 37 Henry Garrido, anti-Henry Garrido rally featuring NYC retirees. So you see Melanie right here, the president of NYC retirees. She's here right now. They're about to go live, going live because it's raining out and I don't want to record it. So
I don't know. I mean, obviously.
Music. New York one. Did you bring Ariola with you? So you're just here to film. There's no recording computer. These ones do I wait or do we just
oh, sorry. So here we're live. See a lot of people here. A lot of retirees are here. They are pissed off at DC 37, man. They, you know.
Everyone knows who Charles Barrett is. Okay. I am not seeing Charles. Are you guys on your way here or are you here?
Sorry, don't worry about it.
Right. Okay. All right. I understand. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Nelly!
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Nelly!
Can you hear me?
Yes, I am.
I can't hear you. Hold on. I need to move away from these people to hear.
This is.
There's Ariola. Ariola. Nelly, how are you? Where's Ariola?
Yeah, let me see something. Yeah. Yep. We're going live. We're live right here. I'm just going to go live.
Yes, I have two. So Councilman Barrett is stuck in Brooklyn, but Vicky Paladino is on her way here. She's one of our other sponsors.
So who's coming, Vicky?
Across from 250 Broadway.
So who's coming, Vicky Paladino?
If you come out.
And that's it, only Vicky?
Right now,
Yeah.
who are you? Who are you? I'm waiting for Barrett.
Where's your green stuff? Where's your green stuff? Give me in. All of that stuff. You are here. Out of David Cookie. That's what you meant. He made you get here. You got to never forget.
So I want to do this. I want to do. I don't see out.
Well,
Neil.
Neil's right here. Oh, there he is. Coming around. Are we ready to go?
Do you have a rainbow for your camera in case the sky opens? Okay. Neil, myself, Michelle, John, yourself, close with Michelle. I've got to get closing.
Aria is on her way.
Well, by the time we get there,
Hey, it's Phil.
that will be.
Sorry, Mr. Cole, I
that will be
apologize.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Council member Vicky Paladino, I don't know if Charles shows up.
Everything where the crowd is over here, right on the side of City Hall. Sure.
I want to have the DC-37 retiree right
For DC-37 retirees, could you kind of clip? I need you to come up a little bit closer, like this way behind here. If you're DC-37.
Open up the circle. Open up the circle.
Yeah, push back just a little bit, guys. We need a little bit of room. Take a few steps back, and I need DC-37 retirees right behind us.
Put your hat on.
Okay, come over.
That means you.
Yeah, Ari Kagan right there.
Ellie in the front.
What's up, Ari? What's up, man?
Come over here.
Get in the front, Ellie.
Let me get in here. How
Yeah.
are you?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Doing good work.
Yeah,
I know
thank
that.
you, thank you.
They've been looking for you, Mama.
Pull it in front of you. All right. All right, you got a councilman. Oh, he's coming around.
I'm parked, I'm double parked. Okay. I've been driving around for like 45 minutes. It's crazy.
What do you want to do now? What do you want to do?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I know the only other person and Vicky, I believe. So do you guys want to, I'll start to introduce you, or do you want me to start and then you guys? Okay, you got time? Okay. Okay. Then
Stop the rain to come on out. I know where it is.
God is on our side.
I hope so. So do you want to do Facebook Live? No, I'm fine. I'm fine for the crowd. Do you want to do Facebook? You want YouTube Live this and just pop up and down and make sure to speak? Okay, so I'll do either way, however you want to do it. Well, I could just do it right. I could do it right here. Okay, and then so it'll be you. I'll do you, me. We'll let the council speak. Then we'll let all of our guests speak, and then we'll wrap it up. And then we'll do any. If anyone's here to ask us questions, we'll take questions. Is that good? Okay. Are you ready? Okay, so give me a minute.
Sure.
Are you ready? So I'm gonna start this and then give it to you. And of course, someone would want to call me as soon as I'm starting. Hey everyone, we are at City Hall today to do our press conference that we called yesterday. You can tell we have a very good crowd today.
We all have been baptized.
So, we are going to start. I'm going to pass the phone to Michelle, and then I will speak, Michelle will speak, the council persons that are here will speak, and then we are going to allow our retirees that have shown up with prepared statements to make their statements to the press. So, hold on. Just swap the camera. Okay. You ready? I know, I'm dropping everything everywhere.
It's gonna fall.
Yes, please, thank you. Okay, now let me get me organized. Since my words are all wet.
Take a couple steps back and back. We're real crowded by the camera.
Perfect. Okay. So thank you everyone for coming last minute. I know we kind of sprung this on you, but after the recent events of the last several days became very disturbing to us, we wanted to be able to get together and set the record straight since no one asked us for our side of the story. Yes! So thank you for coming. I am Mary Ann Pizzatola. I am accompanied today. Thank you. I am accompanied by members of all different unions from all different agencies from all over the city of New York that are retirees from the city of New York. We are the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees. We called this press conference today to condemn our former unions and stand up for the brave councilpersons that introduced legislation, Intro 1099, that would protect a retiree's access to traditional federal Medicare. On June 22nd, Councilman Barron, Shulman, Vernikov, Paladino, Ariola, Lee, Marte, Hanif, Krishnan, Kagan, Aviles, Richardson Jordan, and introduced a two-sentence legislation that would protect us. Those two sentences. The first one requires the City of New York to provide a Medigap plan for our traditional Medicare. And the second sentence specifically states that this bill does not prevent any of our unions from collectively bargaining their benefits. On the same day, Assemblyman Ken Zimbrowski advised us that he is introducing legislation in New York State to also which would protect all state workers. The Daily News reported that our former union leader, DC 37's Henry Garrido, threatened to withdraw support and donations to any elected official who supported our legislation, not because of the merits of the bill, but because our unions made a deal with the devil, and that was to trade away our Medicare benefits for their own enrichment.
How are you?
Mr. Garrido.
How are you? Mr. Garrido then went on New York in Inside City Hall with Errol Lewis to misrepresent and distort his actions, to misrepresent the facts of this case without any fact-checking from us or input from us. We wouldn't have needed Intro 1099 if our own union protected us like they were supposed to. How are you? How are you? Shame.
Mr. Garrido then doubled down to defend his actions and went on New York One with Errol Lewis, an anti-union media outlet, on a segment funded by Aetna, a non-union insurer. A non-union insurer with a history of insuring the lives of slaves and is under investigation by the DOJ for Medicare fraud, and to justify his actions of selling off retiree health care and putting us into a Medicare Advantage plan, privatizing Medicare. Mr. Garrido then smeared Mr. Barron, Councilman Barron, and these fine council members supporting the intro to defend the one benefit that retirees relied upon, Medicare. Joshua Freeman is a labor historian and an author, and he described Medicare as the single most important benefit that our unions helped create. That's right. And DC 37 is the largest union in the city of New York, the lowest paid workers and pensioners, and many of us living on the edge of poverty. We took jobs in the public sector because these jobs had the promise of pension and health care, including Medicare.
Promises made, promises kept.
Promises made. Promises kept. Promises made.
Promises kept. Promises made, promises kept. Promises made, promises kept.
Joshua said, and now you can have it. And I quote, and now you can have it, or maybe you'll have to pay for it. People get really upset, he said.
I thought I had a deal, and now suddenly the city, and maybe our own union leaders, are saying that we would have to pay for it. Oops. I am missing a page. Hold on. Page 4. They're all stuck together. And now they're telling me, no, I don't have this deal anymore, and I now have a different deal. We earned and paid for our health care benefits, and now we are sold off like cattle by our own former unions to enrich themselves. And that's why we needed Intro 1099 and the City Council to help us. Our unions were supposed to be about unity. Instead, they are about division. They are dividing themselves within the MLC, pitting one union against each other, and then pitting themselves against retired workers. Unfortunately, in the MLC, they have not only divided the unions and the retirees, but they did so to favor single union interests and bullied all of us to get what they wanted, something that real labor leaders would never have done. Retirees are not in unions. We do not collectively bargain, and we do not vote on union leaders or on their contracts. And this is why we have the City Council to protect us, like they always did, from greedy mayors. Except this time, they are also protecting us from our former unions. The one thing that he did talk about in the articles that came out over the weekend was that they needed to do this to finance the Health Insurance Stabilization Fund, and I want to make this crystal clear. That Health Insurance Stabilization Fund was set up for one reason and one reason only, and that fund was to provide for premium for active workers and under 65 retirees, not Medicare eligible retirees, our seniors and our disabled, the most vulnerable populations that we have. That fund will only provide a benefit to a retiree if they have a union and if they have a welfare fund, would provide them a vision, prescription, and dental plan. That is it. That fund has been misused, and we have been saying this for years. It has been misused by our former unions and the City of New York for enrichment. $1 billion was taken out of that health fund in 2014 to finance the teacher's contract and collective bargaining. The city has taken money out of that fund also to use for budget shortfalls. And now they want to say they have to do this to us because they misused money, and they've done this for years. With that, I am going to have Michelle Robbins, our secretary of our organization, speak, and then we will ask the council persons that are here to make a comment, and then we want our retirees from DC 37, as well as John from sanitation, thank you, to make their statements, and then we'll be glad to take any questions. Michelle.
Beautiful.
Let's go, Michelle. Let's go, Michelle.
What do we want?
Medicare.
We want now. Marion. Let them in. Let the others right in.
Like a bull in a china shop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll
be the mic stand. You go first.
Okay.
11.
I am Michelle Robbins. I am the secretary of the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees. So, the Daily News and the Post articles that came out this weekend were disgusting. Those newspapers who claim we are tiny and no longer call the Big Apple their home should be ashamed.
Shame on them.
Lost my place. We are strong in numbers, and don't be fooled that the majority of those retirees live here in the Big Apple and vote. And once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker.
Yes.
Just because we move away doesn't mean we should be dismissed like garbage. Okay? We are not naysayers. And we just did not get Councilman Barron to introduce Bill 1099. He was passionate, and he believed he was doing the right thing. And someone had to do the right thing. And Councilman Barron and these councilmen here and everybody else who's going to sign on to this bill and pass it are doing the right thing for these retirees that built, rebuilt, and built this city.
And died for the city.
The newspaper needs to check their facts.
Check the facts.
Okay, and that is it. And again, that stabilization fund and all that money that they claim that our benefits are bankrupting this city, I don't think so. They need to do their math. That is all.
On that point, it's important to know that they're saying that the Health Insurance Stabilization Fund doesn't have money in it any longer to pay for our health care. But since 1967, when Mayor John Lindsay gave us Medicare, that our health care plan was paid for by the city budget. That stabilization fund does not pay for us. What Mr. Garrido did not want to tell you on New York One was that our money was reallocated to him by a deal that the unions made with the city. That money is still there. It should be earmarked for us like it was in the first place and not transferred to pay for someone else. With that,
And since 2014, they had an opportunity to come up with a plan for themselves to try to fix that issue with the stabilization fund,
And they
did not. So they figured the easy way out, throw us into Medicare Advantage, quick money, and have a nice day.
yep.
Thank you.
Like you to speak to them.
Spell your name, please.
Michelle
ma'am.
Robbins.
Michelle standard spelling, right?
MICHE LLE.
Thank you.
What do we do? Stand up. When retirees' rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. Retirees' rights are under attack, what do we do? Retirees' rights are under attack, what do we do?
Fight back.
Fight back.
This is Councilman Kagan. He is one of our supporters.
Just step a little closer, please.
So I'm Councilman Ari Kagan, proudly representing 47th Council District in Southern Brooklyn. I'm New York City Councilman, so I work for the entire city of New York. I would like to say this is a moral issue. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people who dedicated decades of their life serving New York City. And what do we get now? Oh, like we don't have money for you, we have money for someone else. If you live outside of the country, then we have money for you. We just voted 2 weeks ago for another unconditional cash payments for people who are with limited income and don't work, but for people who work for 40 years for New York City as firefighters, as police officers, as teachers, and so on. We don't have any money. No money. It should be unconditional preservation of all health care benefits to our amazing New York City municipal retirees who made our city stronger and better for decades. Unconditional, not cash payments for people who did not work or do not work, for people who worked for decades to make our city better. Also, I do not believe any of these excuses. It's all bogus excuses and also unbelievable, unfair, totally wrong, disgusting threats. Oh, I'm union boss, so I own New York City Council. I own New York City. Don't tell us otherwise. What kind of union leader is this? You need to listen to people of New York City. They did not even inform union members before they made this deal. Everybody learned it from other sources. That's despicable. Shame. I'm standing. Shame. I am saying today that we will win this fight. This fight we will win. Because this is the right thing to do. Because it's the right thing to do. And it's not 250,000 people. By the way, 250,000 people is something, 250,000. But it's much more, I always say. What about families? What about neighbors? What about everyone who supports us? We're talking about millions of people. Millions of people. What do we want? Medicare. When do we want it? Now! What do we want it? Medicare. When do we want it? Now! And by the way, it should be a bipartisan issue. Last time I checked, Democrats always talking about how important Medicare is. They don't want any kind of privatization. But about retirees, oh, we're not going to talk about it. And I'm shocked that New York City, Speaker of New York City Council and Chair of the Finance Committee do not even mention this issue anywhere in budget negotiations. How come? Do you exist? Are we exist in this world? What is it? Is it word retirees is no longer like part of the vocabulary? What is it? So we can't find money for this. Well, what about money for this? What about money for this? But in New York City, people who pay taxes, by the way, people who pay taxes and who did not work for millions of dollars, it was very limited. They like to talk about limited income. Well, right now, on fixed limited income, why not to take care of us? You, why not take care of you? I'm saying us because I feel like I'm part of the family. So we will win this battle. Litigation, legislation, and motivation.
Thank you for coming out and showing up all the time. Raise no, sleep, retirees are here. And we stand here with you. We're here with you to stop the repeal of 12-126. We're here with you today. Our Common Sense Caucus put in an amicus brief to stop the administration from being able to take away your Medicaid, Medicare, Medicaid, they'll give you $5.
That's another
story. But what we want you to know is we're fighting it in the City Council, we're fighting it in the courts, and we're with you. We're in discussions with Marianne at all times. We believe that you made a promise, and that promise should be kept. You paid into what you were supposed to get. You collectively bargained for this.
Yes.
And unions should not then bully you into giving it up. And I want to take a moment to commend many of the people who are on this bill, including Council members Kagan, Paladino, and myself, who are Democrats, who were threatened, and stayed on the bill anyway. Congratulations.
Yes.
Hi everybody, how are you?
Yes.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. And to just reiterate what has been said again and again, we have been with you from the beginning. This is your money. This is your money. You worked hard for it, okay? You are to get it back. This is what you earned. This is what you want. How dare they slap this at you now? They keep changing it like a pendulum on a clock. No, the bill is now there. We have supported you from the beginning. We will continue to support you straight on through. I'm finally happy that it's on the floor, that Barron brought it on. He had the guts to bring it on. We all had it, but you know what? This is different. You're going to make out with this one. I give you my word. This is a bipartisan issue.
It is.
Okay, so let's move forward. Just don't stop this train, because what they're looking to do is slow you down, pump the brakes. No, just keep going through.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We keep saying that healthcare is a human right, not a political fight, and we are not going to allow it to become a political fight or our unions to bully those that are trying to intimidate the council.